Welcome back to the South, my friends. A lot of people have mentioned that since the recent update, they had some sort of game-ending bug that did not allow them to produce weapons. So if you see any of those issues here, make sure to let me know. But I think we're okay. In fact, I've been changing the weapons of a few of these armies throughout. So I'm going to go here to the Army of the Potomac. I'm just going to take a look at the armies or the different units until I find one that doesn't have the rifle I'm looking for, which would be the mixed rifles. The mixed cavalry rifles I think I'm okay with. Yeah, so I'm gonna go over here. Let's see if the Army of the Shenandoah needs some upgrades with Johnston. Of course, they just got beaten last turn. So really the Army of the Shenandoah is hopefully retreating to Winchester. What we can do is go here to the Army of Northern Virginia. They're our newest force, and of course the one currently responsible with defending Richmond. I know the army setup is messed up. This is simply just the way the game is set up. I'm going to have to go ahead and switch over some units to Barksdale. But let's actually get those mixed muskets, and we're going to upgrade them. Got quite a few boxes of Springfields, quite a few boxes of Enfields. These are all things that we took off the damn battlefield. So I'm going to give these guys some Springfields. There we go. That's looking a lot better. Also want to make sure to send over some additional units here. That's right, we have to drop it right on top of the general. My apologies. Barksdale. Yes, sir. And let's give him Johnston as well. I think that's pretty fair here for the Army of Northern Virginia. But yeah, a lot happening. Obviously, with the loss with the Army of the Shenandoah, it's going to change our strategy a little bit. We've also got the Army of the Northwest still heading over here to Pittsburgh, but I'm actually starting to think that that may have been a major mistake. In fact, the 1st Virginia Militia are over here. They could attack us if they want. And the other issue is just the fact that this is currently winter time. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to have them hold a defensive stance. I'm going to have them halt. And I'm going to see if we can't build a depot out here. So maybe right there, for instance. Not going to happen. No, we're just going to have to get out of this area. What about our western forays? Now, this has been interesting. Of course, we did manage to fight over here with Polk and do pretty well. Sorry, we lost, didn't we? Yeah, we lost with Polk. My apologies. Not with Johnston. Johnston's still not looking great, looking worse for where we're bringing him back. But we still got 2 other armies over here. Where are they? No, not them. Is it all the way at Fort Smith? It is. The Western Army is here, guys. So, with Benjamin McCullough, I mean, we could certainly try to head back into Missouri. I know that's the Army of the Mississippi, but this is certainly not Mississippi. But for now, we're going to kind of just hold position. It is winter, so there is some argument to be made that kind of just staying put and not doing much could be a pretty decent strategy. You know what? Let me also, with almost 17,000 men, let me order him to stop as well. I'm just going to have Johnston halt. Just going to have him hold this position. I'm not retreating yet, but we are going to fast forward here a bit. And there we go. We can actually see the men returning to Johnston's army, getting to about 17,000 now. This is, of course, you know, men that are not only wounded and being treated, but also men arriving from other parts of the country to, you know, of course, rejoin these brigades. So I can't wait until the rest of these guys join, but right now my focus has got to be in the west. And of course we've got Beauregard with a nice army here. I mean, if we wanted to, we could probably hit the Army of the Occupation. Hell, we might even be able to hit Baltimore, Maryland, and sort of close the Federals off here. But I'm going to hold on for now, although I am really tempted to just take Beauregard and head over to Pittsburgh. I'm almost certain that Garnett's not going to be able to do it. Although it does look like he is building that depot, so let's let him do his thing and just kind of hold our positions for now. We've got Bragg moving up, and I think Bragg is going to be our next hammer to knock down some enemies. In fact, let's just take a look here at this army. And perhaps we could actually bring in some additional units for Bragg. I think we have to wait until we get to an actual city location. Yeah, that's definitely going to be the case. Well, you know what? We could stop here at Knoxville, Tennessee. Hope this order stacks. If it doesn't, I'm going to be pretty frustrated. As you can see there, the winter movement is also slowing things down. It's not like we have any sort of a rail system currently to take many of the men. So we do have these northern rails, but I believe these are mostly stolen from the Federals. Got to do something with the Army of the Potomac, though. Let's take a look at the Department of the Pennsylvania. 15,000 men over there in Union territory. Well, what if we just head over and face the West Virginia militia? Smash them with Beauregard. That might not be such a bad idea. Yeah, I'm going to start heading that way. I'm not sure that's what I'm going to do, but I'm going to start heading that way. Might actually build a depot out there and decide to go on the offensive. Who the heck knows? Of course, as you can see, the weather is really bad. We're actually getting a weather warning. So, yeah, it's going to be tough going for sure, but hey, sometimes moving during the toughest times, it's when the enemy least expects us to attack, so this may work out. Alright, that's more like it. So let's take him and send him to Knoxville, Tennessee. Pretty sure once he gets to Knoxville, Tennessee, we can actually hire additional units for that army. But we're actually still trying to pass the Second Militia Act. That's going to take some time before we even pass that. And that doesn't necessarily bring us any additional troops. In fact, I think only these focuses do. If I'm not mistaken, the recruitment bounties, the conscription acts, things like this. So that's kind of what we're trying to get to eventually. But on the way, we might want to unlock some additional policies. Again, for now, we're still waiting for Militia Act 2, 38 days away, a little over a month. I'll take it. We'll have to just kind of hold on and just wait. All right, Poe, get to a safe location, sir. Prefer he doesn't go all the way back, but you know what? At the same time, he might need to. Let's get him back to Nashville. At least in Nashville, we know he's going to be safe. And you can see with these winter situations, it seems that... Oh, McClellan's on the way! With these winter situations, it seems that even movement takes forever. Now look at that. Our morale is shattered. It's not shattered, but we have some units with lower morale. So I'm not so sure that Johnston can stand up to McClellan here. This might be the one time I actually run away from McClellan. Yeah, I'm going to try to retreat. Here we go, Army of the Shenandoah. The Union now printing new notes. Well, that's not something I like to see. New greenbacks flood the market. Oh, I hope it leads to some serious inflation. Well, yeah, it is expected to soar. Not exactly something we like to see, my friends. But you know what? We do still have another army, although with all that movement... Let me stop these guys. With all that movement, even the Army of the Potomac is not exactly fully ready as they should be. So I think I'm going to keep Johnston right here, just kind of watching the water. Make sure they don't try to cross the river there. That's just too large of an army for us to deal with at the moment. And in fact, with conflicts like that... I don't even know if we can dedicate any troops to the Army of Florida right now. I really don't. We kind of need those troops to fight in the Northeast, so we're just going forward with the time at this point. See what those Federals do, and for now, just hold here with the Army of the Shenandoah. Poor 1st Brigade. Let's take a look here at the volunteers. Again, waiting for those acts is going to take a while, and you can see here that the volunteers, not nearly what they used to be. We do still have a ton of men from West Virginia, though, capable of joining, but for now I'm going to hold off because I don't necessarily want to add those guys to Johnston's army. Although, let's take a quick look. Just a quick look at how many artillery and cavalry he has. I know we complained about that earlier. I'd love to get him another cavalry unit, but I think what he really needs is actually another artillery unit. So here's what we'll do. To Hardee's force. I'm actually going to try to get the North Carolina boys. There we go. Proper artillery demands red. And there we go. Alright. Well, at least we're getting some artillery on the way for Johnston's army. He does need additional arty. What about the Army of Northern Virginia under Henry Wise? Doesn't seem like 10,000 is going to be enough to stop an attacking federal force. But then again, this is not necessarily the army that we want to support right now. In fact, I'm still tempted. I'm still tempted to go and help out our buddy over here, Hardy, with his army of Florida. Just taking the poor guy forever to move. But I'm thinking this might actually be a pretty good idea. Let's get some West Virginia boys here into the Florida Army. And that's right, we're going to try out our new colors, our new favorite colors, and it's that baby blue, that robin blue. He definitely needs an infantry unit. So there we go, guys. Adding an infantry unit here to the Army of Florida in a second. Actually, not in a second. Right now, we'll go ahead and add a new group. Get Anderson over there. And the new unit over there will be fighting under Hindman's orders. Or is it Hindman's orders? I guess you decide. But of course, more units would be tremendous. Right now, holding positions is the most important thing, guys. Let the economy just hopefully take off fairly soon and hold these given positions. Yeah, I don't like the way the Army of the Shenandoah is looking, so I'm actually going to bring them over here to hang out with the Army of Northern Virginia. Decide what we do soon, hopefully. It's a shame that we can't get the New Orleans fleet up here, because I would love to get into a fight with the enemy. We've got the CSS Jamestown here, but we've got a massive blocking squadron. It's actually only 7 ships. Guys, I can't help myself. I am such a fan of the naval aspects of the Civil War. The CSS Jamestown is a vicious, vicious ship. We're heading out with Commander French Forrest. You've heard of Bedford Forrest, but have you heard of French Forrest? Now, wait a minute. Battle of Hampton Roads was fought today with Confederate James River Squadron of some 4 ships and Federal Atlantic blockading squadron of Potomac Flotilla with some 7 ships. The engagement raged for some hour with no ships lost. I believe... Support... Wow, we actually got a victory here, guys. I told you, just have a little bit of faith in the Confederacy. And it is, of course, the Battle of Hampton Roads. This is an actual known battle in the American Civil War. But we came out on top, man, smashing that blockading squadron. Another victory against that flotilla. Not sure how long that's going to continue for, though. Yeah, we are currently just fighting at Hampton Roads, but unfortunately, a disaster. So eventually, our James River squad did retreat. I like that they put up a fight, though. Really quite brave of them, and they're going to keep on trying to break that, that blockade. In fact, if I can get out here... Is he heading all the way back? Oh my goodness. No, we don't want him to do that. I'm definitely not going to be wasting too much on the fleets. You know, we really need our focus elsewhere, particularly on the armies here. But what I might do is kind of take him out to sea a little bit, bring another fleet to join him and attack again. I mean, we definitely took a chunk out of those Federals. I didn't think we were going to be able to do any damage whatsoever, but I think we absolutely gave them a little scare. Another thing to consider is Hampton's division here under Magruder. I'd love to take him and take Fort Monroe. Somebody mentioned we could do it, but I think we need something like 10,000 men to make absolutely sure that it goes as planned. Yeah, let's go ahead and fast forward quite a bit here. We're going to cut through maybe a couple of weeks even. Try not to get too crazy. And there we go, look at that. We've got the Army, the West Virginia militia is moving forward. I'm going to slow things down. I kind of had a feeling that this was going to happen. It was initially why I wanted to send Beauregard this way. So I'm definitely sending Beauregard over here back to Cumberland. I don't want the Federals to easily take that area. That's just not going to bode well for us. I mean, what sort of message are we sending if we give them that location that easily? I also want to get the Army of the Northwest out of here. What is this? The Medal of Honor? Personal decorations and military medals. The first proposal of battlefield. This is just medals for the Army and Navy. The American Army and Navy doesn't affect us one bit. Although I would love to have a Medal of Honor. Well, there we go, guys. Sure enough, I think we're going to be coming across the Army of the Potomac for sure. Excuse me, the West Virginia Militia for sure. We're going to halt for now. Not sure what they're thinking. We did this last time and it worked with Bragg, so I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to wait on this side of the river and see if that West Virginia militia dares, and I mean dares, to attack us. Now, I absolutely would let them cross the river if they're going to go for it. Let's go. We'll meet you halfway, buddies. Oh, Army of the Shenandoah, you just... Oh, damn it! Hold on, that was not intentional. Let's just halt. You're gonna have to stay here, Army of the Shenandoah. Yep, they are absolutely taken back. Cumberland, we can't have that. You guys stay here at Winchester. Alright, it looks like we did actually get them to fall back and retreat. I just want to make sure that they are not attacking on any other fronts. But of course, that's certainly tired out our Army of the Shenandoah. We've now got them over here, though. We've now really committed them. And at the same time, it looks like... sorry, not the Army of the Shenandoah, the Army of the Potomac. But at the same time, it looks like the Army of the Shenandoah not looking so great. Not looking so great, frankly. They need to improve themselves. They need to get a bit of a makeover here. In the meantime, we're staying put. Dealing with so many enemies all over the damn place, and in wintertime on top of it has been a real pain for our men. So I'm going to hold on for now. And the good news is, at least we get to wait here a few turns and get those reinforcements, etc., things like that. So it's not all bad. It's not all bad, but clearly some issues with readiness. Provisions... Ammunition's doing fine. It's just that weather that's really, really causing them problems. Conditions are fine, but I think the issue is just, again, that awful, awful weather. Also want to keep a look over here. It's got me a little nervous. Washington, D.C. is ever present, always a potential threat. But for now, let's hope that it's not too much of an issue. What about the Army of the Northwest here? See, they're doing quite good, but they also don't have that many men to feed. Whereas with Beauregard, we have quite a few men to feed. And the men are quite unhappy. In fact, some of them are even deserting. Now, we're going to have to pull out of here with Beauregard, guys. Get back to our own territory and ignore that annoying militia for now. They very well may be back, but we'll deal with the situation as it happens. Well, we do have Beauregard back, guys, but when you look at that readiness level, and when you look at the amount of men lost, he lost 1,000 men marching out to Cumberland and back. That was just the march from hell. Of course, we know it's extremely cold right now. It is winter time in the American Civil War, and it really just goes to show you that not all marches, not all attacks are worth it. He's going to have to actually hang out here for now and recuperate. That could take a good deal of time, especially since the morale of the men is also shot and the weather is still pretty awful. I moved the Army of the Shenandoah over here, and the reason I did that is with an army as large as the Army of the Potomac, I just don't believe that he can share supplies with Johnston here. He needs to get all supplies heading over here to Winchester for himself, and let's hope that they are sufficient. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you'll watch the next episode as well, and I'll catch you then. Again, if you see anything that looks weird to you, that maybe the update screwed up for us, please let us know. It really is important information. I don't want to be fighting a war that we're destined to lose. Thanks again, brothers and sisters. Catch you on the next one.